how to fall asleep with your phone. Let's get right into it. The problem is that most people are just too overstimulated. So the recommendation is to put your phone around 2 hours before you fall asleep away and read. But it's really hard. For me, it's really hard. For most people, it's really hard to put your phone away. And the problem with that is that your screen emits blue light, and blue light inhibits melatonin production. Melatonin is a hormone that actually helps you fall asleep. I'm not going to get into the details of melatonin, but if you want to research it, do it. So another big problem is that we don't feel tired, right? We are in our bed 10 p.m. We just have too much energy. Like, we want to fall asleep because we have to wake up quite early in the morning, but we can't. We just have way too much energy. So how do we fix these problems? My hack to fall asleep with a phone is to use the color filter on your iPhone. If you have a Samsung, I don't know, bro, buy an iPhone, to be honest. So what you can do is you go to your settings. You can use the search functionality to look for the color filter. But if you don't want to use the search functionality, go to accessibility, display, text and size, and then color filters. And on that page, there is a color tint. Turn on the color tint, and then you have two handles, hue and intensity. You want to put the hue all the way to the right side and then increase the intensity. So now if you do these steps, your phone is gonna look red because you just filtered out all the blue spectrum of the colors on your screen. It looks really, really ugly, to be honest, but it's really amazing if you want to fall asleep better. So now when you do these things, your phone significantly emits less blue light. And now you can actually use the phone until you fall asleep. And yeah, you're gonna have a better sleep quality and a better life. What are things that you can actually do right now to fall asleep? What are like tactics and hacks? Like, there are things that promote sleepiness and things that actually hinder sleepiness. So things that are really good are things that actually calm your mind. You want to just calm your brain so you can actually feel tired and fall asleep. So what I like to do is I like to read books. You can read mangas if you're into that. You can read manhwas. Like, I like to read mangas, to be honest. Like, I read a lot of mangas, and then yeah, it helps me fall asleep. You can also listen to content, and I write content because it doesn't have to be podcasts or an audiobook. You can also just have a YouTube video on your side, just listen to it instead of watching it. And the great thing about like podcasts or Audible or audiobooks is that most of them have timers. So if you listen to a podcast on Spotify, you can put on a timer for like 30 minutes and then fall asleep while listening to the podcast, which is like my secret technique. Like, when I need to fall asleep, I just put on a podcast. It doesn't even have to be a new podcast. It can be a podcast that I've already listened to like 100 times. You just need some kind of audio that you can listen to. So what are things that actually hinder sleep? Watching the news or reading the news is not really good. You're just gonna get sad and depressed. Don't watch the news. Don't read the news. Also, short form videos. Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, not the best, because you're just getting dopamine hit after dopamine hit, and your body is just in a state of pure high. Like, it's so difficult to fall asleep if you're just scrolling on TikTok all the time. You're not gonna fall asleep. It's just giving you dopamine after dopamine, and you're just gonna stay more awake. So stay away from short form videos. If you want to watch videos, watch a movie, watch a long form video, and just focus on that. Try to focus on just one piece of content and try to actually increase your focus muscle. Try to read a book, read some mangas if you want, or listen to a podcast passively. That's like the best thing I've ever done. And yeah, if you do these things, if you put on the color filter, if you don't watch the news, don't watch short form videos before you fall asleep, and just read some kind of book, mangas, or listen to content passively, like a podcast or something, you're gonna fall asleep with your phone, I guarantee.